Hey, what's up everyone? My name's AB Preston, and in today's video I'm going to be counting down my opinion on the zombies maps from worst to best. Now obviously this is something that many people have done before in the past, and today I thought I'd share my opinion on it, as I've been playing zombies for years now, and the last time I made a video on zombies was quite a long time ago, and I want to get back into making videos on zombies if possible. You know, some countdown videos and the occasional gameplay. So if you guys want to see more zombies, then leave a like on the video, as it would be greatly appreciated. But without further ado, let's jump into this countdown. Also, I won't be counting any Black Ops 4 maps, only the World at War to Black Ops 3 maps. So coming in at last place, I'm pretty sure you guys all saw this comment, we have Transit. And Transit is easily the most hated map in zombies history, and we can all see why, I'm pretty sure. The map just looks boring, the fog's annoying, the little crawler things, I think the denizens, I completely forgot the name. The bus is annoying, the lava's annoying, everything about this map is just annoying. The setup process can take a little bit of time if you don't know what you're doing, with probably one of the worst wonder weapons in zombies history. And in general, the map just isn't fun. Going for high rounds isn't the best thing I've ever tried to do on this map, or even trying to complete the Easter egg. Everything about this map either reeks laziness or poor execution, and it's a real shame that we got introduced to our new crew this way. Obviously things got better from here on out, but other than that, Transit is just a pretty lazy map that nobody likes, and it's very understandable why. Coming in at number 20, we have 5. Now 5 is a map that is really hit or miss for most people. Some people love it, others hate it, and I'm on the side of the people that hate it. I don't like the map layout all that much. The map gets extremely difficult past round 15, and also the way, you know, with the Pentagon Thief, and the extremely poor camping spots other than the elevator. This map is just, in my opinion, 5 is a map that is replayable only like once every 2 weeks. I couldn't play this map over and over again. I'd play it if I'm bored, and that's probably the only reason I'd ever play 5, is if I'm bored, because I don't like the map. I mean, yeah, fair enough, while the characters are cool and the setting being, you know, the Pentagon, that is pretty cool as well. I just really do not like the execution of this map, and it's a shame to see such a cool idea go to waste like this, but you know, people like it, so to those who like it, more power to you, but I think this map falls flat. Up next we have Die Rise from Black Ops 2, and Die Rise is once again another one of those maps where you either love it or you hate it, and I'm not a big fan of Die Rise. My first few times playing it, I thought, yeah, this map's alright, you know, it's not too bad, but then obviously replaying it, I thought, yeah, this isn't very good. Now, the reason why I don't like this map is, for one, the whole setting. Like, fair enough, you're on, like, broken down skyscrapers and stuff, which is a nice setting idea, but the execution was poor. Because fall damage galore is basically what this map should be called. You just take nothing but fall damage. The perk system is random with the elevators, and also the little trample steeds, they just take the piss, especially when your teammates want to troll you. And they even tease us with PhD Flopper at the start, which is not my biggest concern because we didn't get the perk. I'm not pissed off because I can't use the perk. I'm pissed off because it's the most useful perk for this map and we can't even use it. That's why I'm pissed off. If it was just a random teaser, then I wouldn't be bothered. But because, again, it's one of a fan favourite perk and the most useful for this map, arguably, it's a little bit of a cock tease. But the rest of the map is pretty bad, but at least the wonder weapon being the Sliquifier is pretty good. Before patch, it was easily the best wonder weapon, well, until the Apothecon Servant came out. But yeah, it got nerfed. You know, it got hit with that nerf hammer. But Die Rise is, I see Die Rise as a very overrated map. But other than that, it's decent from time to time. Taking the number 18 spot, we have Newtown Zombies, and unfortunately, I don't have any gameplay because when I went to go insert the gameplay here, there was this very, very awful static noise playing, and there was no way I could get rid of it. So unfortunately, we're gonna have zero gameplay. But to describe it shortly, Newtown Zombies has random perk drops which can take the piss because you can have Jug on round 20 but Pack a Punch on round 3. The map is far too small to be a zombies map in my opinion, and the way everything's laid out, while it seems fine on pen and paper, when you actually play it in a reality, it's not very good, and that's the most I'm going to sum it up because, you know, I don't want this to get too boring. But yeah, Newtown Zombies takes the number 18 spot. At number 17 we have the classic, the one, the only, the one that started it all, Kino Der Toten from World at War. And this map would be a lot higher up if we was talking about the Black Ops 1 or Black Ops 3 version. But obviously I'm going to stick to the originals, no remasters count. So the original Nacht is very low on the list simply because of its replay value. Pardon me. And that gets very boring after a while, and it gets extremely difficult because back then on Nacht on its own, you didn't have any pack-a-punch, you had no perks, it was just you in a building with a box and zombies. That's it. And again, this can get very boring after around an hour because there's nothing much to do. But if you was using, you know, the Black Ops 3 remaster or the Black Ops 1 remaster, which in the Black Ops 1 you had the addition of perks, and in the Black Ops 3 you had the addition of perks and gobblegum, it would be a lot easier and you could survive to higher rounds, but it would still be quite boring because there's no pack-a-punch machine, and the only way to pack-a-punch your weapon would be to use a gobblegum in Black Ops 3, and that means wasting your money in an attempt to try and make the game easier, which isn't very fun. But Nacht is a huge nostalgia factor and probably a fan favourite amongst many, and it all holds a special place in our hearts. And this was my first Zombies map. I do love it to pieces, but I'm gonna, I'm not gonna let nostalgia blind me, and I'm gonna rank these maps fairly. So Kino Der Toten takes number 17. Number 16 brings us Verruckt from World at War. Verruckt is essentially Nacht but with perks, and that's basically the best way to describe it in my opinion, because the map layout, or should I say the map look, is quite similar in like a Nazi facility, and it's just you, the zombies, and the box, but this time with perks, and that's it. And another thing to add is that this map is not only is it small, but it was probably the scariest map at the time because of the random sounds and the fear factor of the map itself. But all around as a general map, Verruckt is very flawed with its, design and its choices. But if I had to, give Verruckt a fair score, it'd only be appropriate to place it above Nacht because it's the same thing just with perks. But Verruckt takes this spot on the list. At number 15, we have Shi No Numa, the second DLC from World at War, and you can see a trend here. Shi No Numa is once again quite a simple map. But this time it introduced us to electricity. Oh no wait, did Verruckt introduce us to electricity? Yeah, no, sorry, Verruckt introduced us to electricity. This map introduced us to different traps. And this map also introduced us to Hellhounds, as well as our premise crew, being Nikolai, Richtofen, Dempsey, and Takio. This map was revolutionary at the time because this is the map that started off the Zombies story with obviously these 4 characters and the 115 meteorite. And considering this is the map that begun the story, it seems underwhelming at first. But you have to remember, this was back in 2009, 2010 days, when, back then Zombies was just a rough idea and nobody really knew what Zombies was all about. It was just a fun little game mode, but Zombies eventually became one big story, with these 4 characters being the centre stage, and I think that was for the better personally. But Shi No Numa was quite a horrific map in a swamp setting. It was quite the disgusting setting, mind you, and the Hellhounds just added to the overall fright factor, as I remember when everyone first had their first reactions to the Hellhounds, they shit themselves. I mean, nowadays they're not a big deal, but the Hellhounds were probably the scariest thing about this map, if not the scary radio signals, and just the environment in general. But Shi No Numa takes the 15th spot on our list. At number 14, we have Ascension. Ascension is a fan favourite to many, and unfortunately I can't see what they can see. I think I am pretty blind when it comes to this map. But to me, Ascension is a big confusing mess of a map because I can never seem to learn this map's layout. And also, I just don't find it that fun of a map, really. The monkeys piss me off as well. Just you finally get your 4th perk, you feel set for the game, but nope, this little bastard comes and steals it. But, whatever. But Ascension did have this really cool thing where up until you turn the power on, the screen was black and white. It had a filter, which I thought that was pretty cool, but at the same time it was kind of pointless. And it also introduced us, to these little doll trap things, like a little, what do they call, like lethals or tacticals. It introduced us to that, and unfortunately we didn't see that return, but, bygones be bygones, I guess. But yeah, this map, I'm not a big fan of Ascension personally. I know a lot of people like this map for its introduction to Easter eggs, like proper Easter eggs, but I'm sorry guys, I just don't really like this map at all. I can't have fun with it, I get confused quite often, and more often than not, I don't survive up until around 20 because I think it's quite a difficult map. Wow, that voice crack then, fucking hell. But yeah, Ascension, in my opinion, isn't that great of a map and is highly overrated. At spot number 13 on our list, we have Call of the Dead. And Call of the Dead, once again, is a favourite of a few people. Not as many as, you know, like, let's say, Ascension or Shangri-La. But quite a lot of people do like this map. And I do think it is quite the cool map. You know, obviously it is cool, but does that mean it's good? Not necessarily, but it is quite the enjoyable map. And it is a shame we didn't see this back in Zombie Chronicles like a lot of people wanted it to be. And, I mean, hopefully we can get it back in Black Ops 4. I mean, in Black Ops 4, we've already had 5 come back of all maps. I mean, in my opinion, that's just a little bit mind-boggling why they bring back 5 instead of any other map. But, you know, I don't work at Treyarch. It's not my decision. But, yeah, Call of the Dead. It's quite the cool map. We already know that the biggest bastard about this map is George Romero. And if you kill him, you do get heavily rewarded for it. But, you know, it's debatable if you want to spend all that time trying to kill him. The ice water, it takes the piss sometimes. I mean, everything about this map, it just they are really good ideas, and the map's good. It's not a bad map by any means. It's just a map that I can't enjoy as much as a few other people can, which is, again, it's quite a shame because a lot of people do like these maps a lot. But for me, Call of the Dead is just one of those pick up and play maps, and then if you die, just leave it for a bit and then come back to it. So number 13, we have Call of the Dead. At number 12, we have Shangri-La from Black Ops 1. And Shangri-La is a favourite of a lot of people. A lot of people would say Shangri-La is their favourite map. And then there obviously is an odd couple that would say Shangri-La is their least favourite map. But for me, it's in between. I can have fun with the map, you know, bypassing its easy setup process. Well, I think it's easy in my opinion. But despite this map having an easy setup, it is very difficult. And that's the only thing that drags me from this map. And while I do like a hard time on zombies, you know, just make it interesting, I don't like a map that's overly difficult. And I would call Shangri-La one of those maps that stretch into overly difficult, in my opinion. It's something that I wouldn't play over and over again, but it is something I would play with friends because it is a good laugh. The whole area of being in a jungle, I thought that was a pretty cool setting. And the Easter egg as well is quite a cool Easter egg, and it also has its own story behind it, you know, with the little stone on the stick. I forgot what it's called, I'm sorry. But Shangri-La, yes, it's a good map. It's not a bad map by any stretch of the imagination. Every map from that one that I'm going to mention on this list, I think, are good maps. They're just not great, if that makes sense. You know, when it comes into like top 7, that's when it starts to get really good. But Shangri-La is just an average map, another one of those pick up and play maps until you start to rage, which is quite often for me. Also, as well, the monkeys that come along to steal your perks, fuck me, they're annoying. Getting Pack-a-Punch as well is probably one of the more annoying parts of the map. But other than that, Shangri-La takes our spot at number 12. At number 11, we have a map that a lot of the veteran players like, and a very underrated map of, you know, like the casual players. But in my opinion, number 11 goes to Shadows of Evil. Shadows was quite the innovative map, as it was the map to introduce us to the Apothecons in the Black Ops storyline. But a lot of people, you know, saw past this map because they thought it was, oh yeah, no, it's turning into some hentai game or whatever with all the tentacles and squids. But looking past that and the extremely tedious setup process to get this map going, Shadows is actually quite the fun map with quite a good Easter egg. And, you know, you assemble your friends, play this map, and you can have a good time. Just make sure you get past round 10. Because if you don't get set up by round 10, you know, getting all the Gateworms, Pack-a-Punch, whatever, this can get a little bit annoying to keep going and trying to set up because it will give you a hard time. And trying to complete the Easter egg, you know, getting the swords and stuff, can also be very annoying. But once you know what you're doing and you have an efficient strategy to get past it, Shadows is a very fun map and quite the overlooked one for many people. So Shadows of Evil comes in at number 11. Moving into the top 10, this may be a surprise to many, but we have Zetsubo no Shima from Black Ops 3. This is a very underrated map, and I can see why a lot of people hate it. And in my opinion, whilst yes, it is the worst DLC map in Black Ops 3 Zombies, it isn't a bad map by any stretch of the imagination. The only thing that drags this map down is, like everyone's already said, the extremely long setup process for this map. As not only do you have to go around doing all the skulls and the summoning altars and getting thousands upon thousands of points to even bother to open up any of the doors, you know, just to get the Pack-a-Punch open and to get the map going, you know, with the Skull of Non-Sapway and everything else like that. It is a very annoying map to set up, and to get the Wonder Weapon and upgrade it, that is also very annoying. But if you are able to, you know, plow through it and look past all of the flaws of Zetsubo no Shima, this is quite the enjoyable map. And despite the Thrashers spawning in every 20 seconds, and just being an absolute piss take to destroy sometimes. I can easily look past this map's flaws, and while it does take a good 15-20 minutes to set up, once you get past that and you have some decent weapons, this map can be an absolute blast to play, especially with friends. And this is, in my opinion, the scariest map for zombies, just because of the spiders. And while that may sound like it's biased because I'm arachnophobic and I have a fear of spiders, yes, it is. This map is basically made for those who have a fear of spiders, and that's basically like 60% of the general population, and I fall into that 60%. So in my opinion, yeah, this is a very scary map, and once you get to that big spider boss, I just had chills down my spine for the first time playing it, and I still get chills while playing it even today. And while looking at, and if you have noticed as well, on the big spider's back, you can see that they're not spores, they're actually little spiders, which is something that made my skin crawl the first time seeing that. But enough rambling. Zetsubou no Shima is a good map if you can look past the setup process, and the only thing that drags it down to 10 is the setup process. But yeah, Zetsubou no Shima comes in at number 10. Taking the number 9 spot today, we have Moon. And Moon, a lot of people would say, is their favourite map of all time, but for me, I'm not a big fan of Moon because I always get confused with the layout. That's probably because I've not played it enough. But this was probably the map with the coolest Easter egg at the time. You know, destroying the Earth. I thought that was a really, really cool Easter egg. And a lot of people also think so too. But, yeah, this is a very, very cool map in concept, you know, going to the moon and stuff. But, hang on. Sorry about that. Yeah, Moon is a very cool map, and it is one that is highly overlooked, I think, in some aspects. But, unfortunately, with a setup process that I can never ever get used to, and also a map layout that I'll never ever get used to either, as well as the astronaut that always just comes up and fucks your game up sometimes if you're not paying attention, you can seriously get screwed over by this map, and also just not really have a fun time with it, and I'm one of those people. So I apologise to all fans of Moon, but I'm not a big fan of this map personally. And, you know, it is a real shame for me to be saying that, because I like quite a lot of zombies maps, and considering this falls into my top 10 for me to say I don't like it too much is a bit shocking, you know, just after how much I've been praising Zetsubou. But I would much rather play Moon any day over Zetsubou. That's probably the only reason why it's up here. But, yeah, number 9 we have Moon. At number 8 we have easily one of the most underrated zombie maps of all time, and that is Revelations. Revelations was basically blinding us with nostalgia, as it combined a lot of past previous zombie maps that we loved into one big one with a couple of original aspects here and there. And the only reason why Revelations failed to many people is the lack of original content. And while, yes, that is quite a shame that we didn't get that much, you know, original content in the map, and that it didn't give us the big final battle that we was teased with in Shadows of Evil, with the murals on the wall. Which is quite, you know, it's quite a shame, because, you know, there isn't 1,000 Apothicons here and there. It's just a regular zombies map with the occasional Apothicon here, you know, scattered here and there. I do think Revelations is very underlooked, as I have a blast with this map every now and then. And this is one of the maps that I will frequently jump back onto to play, you know, over anything else. I don't think the setup process is as tedious as people say it is. I think it's quite easy, especially if you have the correct equipment at the time. And you get some decent box hits, you know, because you will require a decent gun from round 5 onwards to, you know, like, as a necessity to survive. This map did bring us the upgradable Apothicon Servant, which we was teased with in Shadows of Evil as a glitch, but it got patched, and now we can actually make that a reality, which is pretty cool. I don't really know how people, you know, figure this shit out though. Like, how would you know to look up and shoot this tiny tablet in the sky with the Apothicon Servant? How would you know to do that? It baffles me. And considering Jason Blundell, you know, the director of Zombies for Black Ops 3, said it would take us years to solve this Easter egg, it took us a week. Which, while yes, that was the longest it took us to solve an Easter egg in Black Ops 3, I think about a year, like years, he was, you know, over-exaggerating. But maybe he meant every Easter egg in the map, because we still don't know every Easter egg in this map, and we are far from finding all of the Easter eggs. Which, considering this map is 3 years old now, is pretty shocking. But other than that, Revelations is a very underlooked map, and it comes in at number 8 on my list. At number 7 on our list, we have easily one of the more unique zombie maps, being Buried. And Buried is, again, another fan favourite to many. Buried sees us in some sort of wasteland at the start, but then we got underground to some secret kind of shantytown with your boy Leroy, you know, with quite the good Easter egg. You have a maze with a witch. And it also introduces us to a perk known as Vulture Aid, which is the first time and last time you see this perk, unfortunately. It is quite the great perk. But Buried is a fun map. The setup process for this map isn't as tedious as I would have expected it to be after replaying it for, after many years. Buried was a map that innovated a lot of people to stop playing zombies religiously, and I can see why, because it's a very fun map. But looking past the overly stupid features of the map, and can I just say the Paralyzer is one of the more overrated wonder weapons. I'm not a big fan of it, and while yes, it is used for the Easter egg and whatnot, yeah, it's just something that I see as really overrated. But Buried as a map is a pretty fun map, and once you get started with the map properly, going underground, I think this map is very, very cool, and the chalk drawings on the wall just make it really, really cool as well. But yeah, Buried comes in at number 7. At number 6, we have the instant classic from World at War, Der Riese. Der Riese is the most remastered zombies map of all time, and the most replayable map of all time in my opinion. Der Riese is a small map and a fun map to play with friends. It introduced us to the famous camping spot of the Catwalk, and the small map makes its difficulty. It doesn't necessarily make it an easy map by any means, because past the round 20 mark, if you're not camping, it can become quite difficult. And especially in the earlier versions of Der Riese, being World at War and Black Ops 1 without the Gobblegum, it is pretty difficult. But Der Riese is an all-time classic and a fan favourite of many. Der Riese in Black Ops 1 was just a remaster, but in Black Ops 3 it served the purpose of advancing us with the story of the Primus characters and killing Richtofen 1.0 and putting him into this summoning key. But yeah, like Der Riese, enough said. Der Riese is number 6. Moving into the top 5, we have Origins. And Origins is basically everyone's favourite map other than me. And a lot of people would say this is either the best map or the second best map of all time, but I disagree. Simply because this map is far too complex for me to understand half the time. The map is huge, absolutely huge. The mud is annoying. The story's good, however. I do like the story. It has a decent Easter egg. The setup takes fucking forever. And the map is quite complex, but this map did introduce to us the elemental staffs, favourite wonder weapon to basically a lot of people, just put that short. And we can upgrade the staffs, blah 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 blah. Everyone wanted them back, and we eventually got them back in Zombie Chronicles, obviously. But yeah, Origins is one of those maps that you either love or you just like. No one. It's very difficult to find someone who says they despise Origins, and while I don't despise it, I just think it's very, very overrated, because this is a map I wouldn't be able to replay over and over again, just for the sake of, replaying it over and over again. I would only play this map maximum of twice a week. That's just because of how complicated the map is, and how much I forget everything about this map because of how much there is to do on it. The map's too large. That is what basically my only complaint. Like, my main complaint of the map is just too big. And I know everyone knows the way around it by now because they've been playing it since release, but I haven't, alright? I'm not one of those day one Origin players. I'm not. I don't like this map as much as everyone else. But I can see why it's loved, and for all those reasons as well, I like it a lot too. So in our number 5 spot, we have Origins. Once again, with this map, the gameplay footage just completely corrupted, and there's this very awful noise in the background, so you're going to have to look at a blank screen. But number 4 sees us Mob of the Dead. And again, I'm going to get a lot of shit for this because I know a lot of people love this map. But sorry guys, I just can't see what you guys can see. The afterlife is cool. The Easter egg's fine. The big hellhound heads in the wall, they're cool. The whole setting being on Alcatraz Island, which is a real life place as well, I thought that was really fucking sweet. Everything about this map is just unique. From the wonder weapons to the boss zombie to the Easter egg being, one of the most notorious Easter eggs for making cameos in other maps. It's just a really cool map, and to see it being remastered in Black Ops 4 and being basically the same map is very, very nice. And I have played Blood of the Dead, the Black Ops 4 remaster, and I enjoy it. It's basically the same thing, and I just enjoy it as much as I do this one. But other than that, yeah, Mob of the Dead is a good map, but I wouldn't put it in my top 3. Moving into the top 3, we have an instant classic, Gorod Krovi from Black Ops 3 Zombies. Holy shit, dude, this map's amazing. It is essentially a living, breathing classic zombies map because it's an easy setup, the later rounds are hard, it's got a decently difficult Easter egg, which at some steps are just absolutely pathetic. And it has that element of sci-fi being the dragons, and everything about this map just reeks with success in my eyes. Guard Crovy is an instant classic simply because of how fun it is. The setup is easy, the map is fun, the visuals are stunning, and everything else about this map it is just fantastic. And when this map first released, I was thinking to myself, it's not that good. I mean, it's alright, I wouldn't replay it over and over again. But no, this map is really, really good. I love this map a lot. You know, the whole dragon element as well, something we was teased with since Shadows of Evil. I love it. Guard Crovy, if you haven't played it, get Black Ops 3, download it. It's fan-tabby-dozy. I didn't say that right. Fan-dabby-dozy, that's what I was meant to say. Yeah. Guard Crovy is just fantastic. It's a brilliant map. I can't add anything else to it. The only thing I can say about this map is that the zombies are far too fast for their own good. And some of those steps on the Easter egg are just absolute aids. And the final boss fight on the Easter egg is extremely difficult as well. But other than that, Guard Crovy, instant classic. I love it. The number 2 spot on our list, we have everyone's favourite Black Ops 1 map, Kino Der Toten. Kino is easily one of the funnest maps in Zombies history, simply for its easy setup, its spooky setting, and it's just fantastic arrange of training spots, and just how fast and fluent the gameplay feels. Kino is absolutely brilliantly designed, from its its setting to the way you unlock different things such as Pack-a-Punch or whatnot. It's just an extremely fun map, and I'm pretty sure everyone else thinks that Kino is a fantastic map as well. And if you don't, then I don't know why you've been playing, mate, because Kino is really, really fun. Whether you're talking about the Black Ops 1 version or the Black Ops 3 remaster, I can never ever stop playing this map simply because of the replay value of this map and how fun it is, and just how great it is with friends. Honestly, Kino is a great time, and you should all play it if you haven't already. For my favourite Zombies map of all time, what else could it be other than Drak from Call of Duty Black Ops 3 DLC 1. This map just screams perfect. Everything from its layout to its speed, the Easter egg, the ball process, everything about this map is just absolutely brilliant. And this was the map that made me fall in love with zombies the way Kino made everyone fall in love with zombies back in the day. This was the first Zombies map I played religiously, and the first Zombies map that I bothered to try and complete the Easter egg on. I tried for 1 month straight trying to complete this Easter egg, and I tried it with friends, with 2 people, with 3 people, but then I eventually did it on my own because I found that was the easiest way, and I was just the happiest man alive when I did that. Seeing that end cutscene, everything about this map, Drak is the definition of a perfect Zombies map, simply because of how fast and fluent the gameplay is, the additional wonder weapons, the extremely fun Easter egg, as well as, and it has a difficult boss fight as well, which I find myself dying to more often than not. Just basically everything about this map is just amazing. It's just wonderful. And if we were to ever get this map remastered, which I don't think we will need to, considering how good the graphics are on this map already, but if we was to get an eventual remaster, I'm hoping they don't screw it up, because this map is just the definition of what a Zombies map should be. And considering we got Zetsubo after this, I was quite surprised with the drop of quality, but everything from the additional Easter eggs to the main Easter egg, I just love this map so much. It's fantastic. I could play it over and over and over again every single day for the rest of my life. Drak is perfect. And other than that, that is it for my list of the Zombies mapped. Zombies maps ranked worst to best. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with this list, because again, this is not their opinion, it's my opinion, but I'm sure you guys can see me out on some of these decisions to put this there or that there. But if you guys love this, love this Zombies community and the entire franchise as much as I do, then I can understand why you could get a little salty about this list, but you do you and I'll do me. And the reason why I didn't include Black Ops 4 on this list is because, well, not every DLC is out for Black Ops 4 yet, and I couldn't care less about the game, to be honest with you. I thought IX or X was a decent map, 9, whatever you want to call it. I thought it was decent. Void of Despair was alright, and then the Mob of the Dead remaster, as I expected, it was good. And then the 5 remaster I couldn't care less about, so Black Ops 4 is a disappointment in my eyes so far. But hopefully DLCs, like 1 to 4 can bring us something cool. But from World at War to Black Ops 3, Zombies has been one of the finest experiences that I've ever experienced in a video game, and I'm very glad to report that the Zombies saga has gone down as one of my favourite things ever in gaming. So anyways, thank you all for watching this video. Let me know if you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments below what your list is from 21 to 1, you know, ranking them worst to best. You don't have to provide a reason, just say. But other than that, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video of mine. Take care and peace out.